Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Monday, May 9th. And let's start with Ethereum here, just on the bigger picture here. So we can expect this pattern here to be corrective. So we'll be taking out that low. There should be some sort of relationship between this move and this move here. Sometimes this is about the equality of that move there, I'd say roughly. You know, sometimes the other side of this too is that wave C here. It can just be 61.8% of, or 62% of this particular move here. So, but anyway, we'll get to count that along the way. But the important thing here is that I'm just looking at these differently. So from this point, we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the top, and then a large A, B, and C pattern here. And this is what we'll look for on Bitcoin as well. So I'll need to change this here. So we'll be going up a couple of degrees of structures here. So I'm going to be putting this here and lifting this up to this point and be changing this here, lifting all of this up. Now this could be a big wave 3 here, or it could be a wave 1. It kind of don't matter at this particular point in time. Once again, here the equality between this length here and this length here, a bit of an angle there, but you know, as I mentioned before, somewhere down into that particular space. Now the other interesting thing here, the terminal, I mean, this, we know that these markets are following the equity markets, and then you have to ask yourself, well, if it's following the Nasdaq and the S&P, what are they doing? But who's behind the Nasdaq and that? So really, this top here, the 28th, 29th of March in here, that top there, 28th and 29th of March. If we look at Amazon just as an example, and we take this top here, the 29th of March, then we've got this move here. So we need to, use the tech stocks to also help us find the lows for these assets, so to speak, So I know that you may not look at the videos that we do on the tech stocks, but we're bringing all of these into, just bring this in here to 1000 just to pick up that thread there. So there's two ways to count this down here. I can have this one here and two there. It doesn't really matter. It's still left where we are at the moment, but we can still see that we need to come down here further. Anyway, I just thought that I would, put that out there. So yeah, so a couple of things here. How far did we come down? Not quite sure, but having equality between wave A and wave C is one thing. And also the other interesting thing here too is that normally with an A wave, that from the top to the bottom there, that's the angle of that. So the A wave is normally comes down quicker. So we want the C wave here to be on less of an angle than the A wave here. So that's something that we will sort of get to see, because if this move down here is sharper than the A wave here, then it means that we're not in this pattern. We're in a third wave down here at that point, So this would be wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So the angle is the personality of the structure. So that can be quite helpful for us to understand, a few things really. So yeah, now also there's different ways to count this move down through here. We can have it as wave 1 and 2 here, or we could have it as wave 1 and 2 here. It's a little bit sort of messy in all of that. So I'm just running 2 counts on this. So yeah, it'll as it develops, it'll start to show which is correct and which is not. But in a nutshell, all we're doing is tracking, it doesn't matter what count it is, we're just tracking 5 waves down to here, and we want those 5 waves to be on more of an angle than the wave A here. That's what we're looking at. If it's not if it's on the same angle or even sharper, then it's not a C wave, it will be a wave 3, and that opens up a bigger can of worms to the downside as well. So there we go. So where do we land down here? I don't know. All we can do is just continue to count the structure. You know, it could be 25, it could be 20, could be 18. Obviously the old 2017 highs were sort of down here, and it's quite, you know, comfortable to have that there as the high. You know, it's a bit sad for people that bought all up through here. They've got you know, the new people don't normally hold. They'll see this crash coming here and then they'll get out, you know. But that's a lesson to be learnt. Like I said, I've got 4 or 5 coins, and I'll definitely be holding mine through this, and I'll be buying more down here. So yeah, I just see it as an opportunity. You just got to go through that roller coaster of you know, but still, it's like life, isn't it? You know, it's not what's going down, it's how you take it. So it's we've all got our lessons. We all carry our own crosses and whatnot. So from here, where can we go from here? I think we can go to, I've got to remember, Monday morning, get the brain working a little bit. Okay, so this takes it down to having this as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for wave 1 and 2 here. The other one I've mentioned uses this as 1 and 2 in here for that. So there's different ways you can look at that. I'll just have to get my head around that a little bit further, but it shouldn't really affect us in the meantime. Just tuning in here to this one here, slightly different count, but we've talked about this. We're looking for a little ABC in here last time we spoke, on the 4 hour at least. So this one looks quite comfortable to me, but I'll just I'll match that up with the NASDAQ and some of those other tech stockies. So that can come down from 8 down to 5. So from 5, the next level down is 3, which is group 1, so 33,000, and then 32 and 31, so all of group 1 there. But yeah, so that's sort of where we are there. If this is the count here, then we can also look at this as 1 and 2 in there somewhere. We'll have a closer look at all of that, and then we'll be looking at 3, 4 and 5 down here for the 3rd wave, and then we'll be looking at the 4th wave, and then the 5th wave that's going to come down further. So it's giving us a bit of depth here for this, and then that will be that one, and this will be that one. It might be shorter and so on. And down here a bit further, just getting a visual on it all. Might not be that bad, but that's what we can be looking at this stage. And of course the 25 is a medium level there, so it's going to carry a bit of weight. Then the next major level down is the 2 at that point. We'll start filling in the dots. But that's sort of where we are at this point with that. And like I say, that's in line with Amazon and everything else, and they turned on this date, and that's where we're at. And let's just go into maybe the 100 tick. Hopefully we've got that there somewhere. Not that it makes much difference, but it'll be much the same as that. Yeah, so it's using, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2. I mean, all this is a little bit questionable, some of these moves here, but I'm kind of comfortable with this. And I know this looks really weird here, but this is what large numbers do sometimes. They can really skew the count, and it makes it very difficult, and then you've got to get into the guessing game a little bit, and it only becomes a bit clearer once you've moved along a little bit. So we're starting to see this strong move down here, so that means that it's a 3rd wave, so we could look at it as you know, as the 3rd of the 3rd and of the 3rd here. So that appears to be 5 waves here. So as we just mentioned before, then 1 and 2, and then probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd, the 4th and the 5th here. that fourth may be in there, or there may be some sort of ABC thing here for this. I'm not quite sure, but that 35 could do with a decent retest, but it may not get it, and may just continue to come down at that point, and we're looking for wave 5 down here. So one way or another, I'll just put that there. We're sort of still coming down into this area here. There will be a bounce off 33, so be mindful of that. It will probably take it back to 34 and then sort of edge its way down lower, but that's sort of where we are with all of that. So I think I can just leave it all at that, really. That's sort of where we're coming at so far with all of this. So yeah, you've got a pretty clear picture, and you know where the picture's coming from. It's coming from those US tech stocks, and yeah, if you're watching the US stock video, then we're basically tying in, you know, all those tech stocks to the same low, even though they may have different counts, but they'll all need to come together. So Facebook or Meta will need to that low, and Apple and Tesla, and all of them will come in on that low. It'll be interesting to see, probably maybe even the solstice or something, winter, the shortest day of the year, or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. Alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.